everyone, today I'm going to show you how to make this super pretty tailed simple loop bow. And we're going to make this on a template, and this is with 1.5 inch ribbon. We're going to use 2 times 70 centimeters, but I will put all the measurements and which template size and everything like that in the description in case you ever don't catch my measurements, or like I said, I repeat myself sometimes, and because of my dyspraxia, I sometimes twist my numbers without realising, so I always put them in the descriptions just so you guys don't get muddled, especially if I've confused you anyway. And if you need any more help or advice on any of the bows that I make, I have a Facebook group and a page, and I'm always about to answer any questions or anything like that you might have. So, like I said, this is the bow we're going to make. This is on a 5-inch template, and on the 1.5 inch ribbon. You can also do it on the 4-inch or the sort of 4.5 inch template, and the only difference is you'll get slightly smaller or bigger bows. So this one is just under 5, your 4 would be just under 4, and your 4.5 is sort of dead midway in between, so it's sort of just a touch under the size of the template from when it sort of curves in a little bit. But I really like these because, as you can see, I've used a silver edge ribbon on the inside, and you get that really lovely like pop of colour of the alternative colour, and like I said, you see just a little tiny bit of the silver edge on this ribbon, and like I said, it's just really cute. So I've got some clips to hold my ribbon in place when it's on the template. This is one of my wooden 5-inch templates, and I'll put the link below to the UK supplier for these, but I do know there's a couple of places that you can get them in other countries, so I'll link some of the suppliers that I'm aware of below in case you want to try them, or you can make your own with cardboard. And there's lots more. I'll also link a bunch of other tutorials underneath of different ones that you can make with these kind of templates as well. So to get the blue silver at the bottom, I've got my 2 pieces of ribbon, and I've just sealed this top 2 pieces together, and all I did is pinch them together like this and heat sealed them with my lighter. Pinch, pinch, pinch until they're nicely sealed together. Always do them when your edges are unsealed like this, because if you try and join 2 sealed edges together, they don't join, just so you know. Okay, so good lighter. Just going to remove my clips off, put that out of the way so I don't get any glue or anything on it. And you want to start from this way. Like I said, the darker colour, whichever one you want on the outside, should be your top layer. And you want to start, so this is just a little bit over your stitch gap. And you want to hold that round there. I'm just going to clip this at the top here because we don't want this too much over. And you want to keep this line as straight as you can. And the other thing is align it up with the top of my gap so that it's easy to stitch. Okay, so again, you want the back completely straight. And I'm going to put my other clip there to stop it moving. And then what you want to do is, I'm going to move that a little bit further over, because what you want when you're sorting these guidelines out, you want your V's to be perfectly lined up with this centre crease. And if you can do that, you'll always get good results. So as you'll see here, you want these V's to be right on the centre of there. There we go. That's what you want. So like I said, this is still straight. Like I said, I'm just going to pin that side. And the other thing that I like to do is I like to slightly overlap the backs so that they're both straight, but they're just a tiny little bit overlapped by about half a centimetre. And again, when you're doing these side crosses over, what you want is, like I said, half a centimetre overlap, because it just helps your shape stay nice and steady and like really symmetrical. And like I said, that's what I like about mine. And again, I can feel here that that's just over. And like I said, what you do is tuck, and like I said, make sure that, like I said, this soft V here and this soft V here are, like I said, central on that line up. Just tuck under. There we go. Tuck that under. I always wrap that round just so it doesn't get in the way of stitching. I'm also going to cut that just a little bit shorter so we don't accidentally stitch that into the bit of the bow, because we don't want that to be stitched into there. That would be a disaster. So we're going to pin that there out of the way, and this is what your back of your template will look like, and this is what the front should look like. Okay, and then I've got my double threaded Goodband thread, extra strength, and my 7-inch sharp darning needle. Like I said, make sure that stays tucked when we're sewing, so I hold that between my fingers. And you want to go from above through this layer here, and then you want your first stitch in just below that, and then you want to go over like so, and then across your gap, over again, and then back up through the top of there. Okay, so in, over, over, out, and 1, 2, 3. Okay, that will work. This will give you 3 creases. Yeah. 6. Okay, if you want one like the one that I've just done, then you would want slightly more. So I'm going to show you the other stitch method that will work. So like I said, for 3 creases, in, over, over, out, 1, 2, 3. Like I said, you want that third one across your join. Okay, and this is the other stitch placement that will also work, and this will give you 3 creases, well, 4 creases, not 3. Okay, you'll have to give me a second, because like I said, I have to count in my head so I don't confuse any of us, and it's always from above. Like I said, make sure your V's are still in alignment. And I'm just showing you both because I know some of you get confused and you think you've done something wrong if it doesn't look exactly like mine. So I thought I'd show you just so you know both ways work. As long as you do it even and balanced, you'll always get a good result. So this is the same as one that we've just made. So in, over, over, over your line, out. So in, 1, 2, 3, out. And like I said, this one is over, this one is right in the middle, this one's over, and this is out. And on the back you'll have 1, 2, 3, 4. And as you can see, they are fairly even, and you've got 2 in one piece and 2 in the second piece. Okay, so hopefully that makes sense for you. And like I said, that will give you 2 different amounts of creases. This one will be 4. 1, 2. There you go. 1, 2, 3, 4. And the other stitch pattern would be 3. The one that I showed you before, because this is 8 stitches and the other one was 6. So again, you can play around and decide which version you like best. And then you can stitch off in the back when you're happy. And the reason I like templates is because on these ones, when I try and make them freehand, my loops always slip terribly and I always have one side, one loop. Normally the left right for some reason. This one to you. Whenever I make them freehand, same with my boutique, twisted boutique bows, that loop always goes massively out of place for some reason. Drives me crazy. So there we go, we've stitched off in the back and I'll show you what both sides look like. So this is the front, and as you can see you've got the 2 creases in the main colour, and then the pull-in creases are your alternative colour at the back. So here and here, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4. And like I said, it's really well balanced. And this is what the back looks like. Okay, now with the tails, what I like to do is I like mine a little bit long, but I like to cut them straight so they're both the same length. And then what I do, depending on how much of a peak you like to see underneath, I like to do about 1.5 centimeters. So what you do is take this ruler, keep this bit out of the way, so make sure that's out of the way so you don't accidentally cut into your other piece of ribbon. And that's 1.5 centimeters down from our bottom layer. And again, cut this straight so you'll see you've got the peak of colour there. And I always do this layer first. So, and again with your tails, you can do any shape you want and you can do it any direction you want. I just happen to personally prefer the curved kind of looks. And again, I think that's because I translate a lot of Brazil and Portuguese language versions, and it's a shape that they're all quite a lot of their tutorials always have this curve, which like I said, I just like the look of it. And it's one of the easiest ones for me to do and heat seal without any issues. So let's move all of our mess. And I've got this super cute gold dotted like padded felt heart, and I got this from, where was it from? From Gem's Ribbons and Resins, so I'll link the group for those as well. She's got all different colours. I've got a bunch of pastel shades, so I thought I'd actually use them instead of hoarding them for once. Move everything out of the way. Sorry, I hate mess on my desk. So I've got my 9mm and this is actually perfectly matches my blue silver edged. You have to excuse my fun, I had a war with my wood burner earlier today because I is very clumsy. Actually, clip first. So let's put our clip first on. Yeah, I have days. That's my other warrior mark. Can you see here? Yeah, I sort of touch the edge of the metal bit on the wood burner. Like I said, I caught my finger here and tapped it on there, somehow caught it across there. It's the other reason why I rarely get it out. And wrap your centre nicely. And like I said, I like to do this nice and tight, and we go around at least twice. 1, 2, there we go. Cut that off there. Heat seal. That's a little bit long actually. Trim it down a little bit. Heat seal. When you heat sealing, always stay in that blue bit of the flame, not the orange bit. That's the bit that seals without melting or burning or giving you any sort of smoke marks on your paler colours. So there we go. So there's a bow. If you wanted to, you could leave it like this. Like I said, I'm going to make my match like this. And all you want, the best thing about the felt is all you need is a tiny touch of hot glue. Nothing else. Just where you want it to sit on the bow. Line it up with where you want it. And there you go. 2 super pretty simple tailed simple loop bows made with your 5-inch templates. So there you go. Like I said, you can change colours. You could do it one layer. You could do just one layer of 70 centimeters and not have the peak behind. Well, you would, but it wouldn't. It would be the same colour instead of a different colour. So if you wanted to do slightly less ribbon, that is something that you could do instead. Like I said, you can mix up your colours. Like I said, whichever one you want on the outside needs to be on top. Like I said. And like I said, you can play around with your colours. Like I said, play around with your sizes. I'll put the other ribbon width measurements up from 3-inch ribbon all the way down to 1-inch and 7/8 ribbon, and tell you which templates work sort of best for the sizing. And like I said, you can play around and adjust. And like I said, the best thing about using the templates is if you want a 5-inch bow with 1.5-inch ribbon, use your 5-inch template. If you want a 4-inch ribbon bow, use your 4-inch template instead. And like I said, you can actually adjust your sizes down to the same thing and get the same look of the bow, just in the slightly smaller measurement. So like I said, that's what's always fun about those. So thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe. And like I said, if you need any more help, the group and the page are linked below, and you can always ask me any questions you might have. Okay, thanks for watching. Bye.